The next item I want to mention on Insert tab is Quick Parts. If I click on that, we have all the text based on the general or the author, document property like author, category, comments, manager, keywords, etc. And note that I will mention much more deeply in separated chapter. And we have field and building blocks organizer. For now, block organizer doesn't matter. It is like the other fields. Of course, as you see, you could add something like, let's say, the grid and use it. And they're using like the cover and some other sections. But the important thing I want to mention, it is field. If I click on that, the field dialog box will open. We have several categories, date and time, mail merge, numbering, and other sections. By default, it is set on all. And field names. They are very useful in many cases. And also we have formula, which I will mention in a minute. So allow me to go back. And we have a field code. What are they? Actually, many things we're using are these style. For instance, if I double click on the page number and hold on the Alt or Option key and press F9, you will see something like the code will generate it for page number. For example, if I press Tab to make a space and add something like time and date, any format, okay, and press Alt or Option F9 again to bring back, you will see the date or time, etc. But they are using some fields like this. I will cover them up much more vastly on separated chapter, but for now, let's have a quick review on that. For instance, I create a table, very simple table, maybe something like that, and add some numbers, just random numbers here. Alright, on the Microsoft Word, you could also calculate values and do some mathematic formulas like the page numbers, etc. Allow me to bring back to the regular one. Alright, click here. As you realize, they are not static values or numbers or text. They have some calculation or referential to something else. I could go to Insert, Quick Part, and click on the field. And we have formula. You see, I could click on the formula here and use some functions and number formats, etc. Or you could go to the Layout tab. On Data section, we have Formula. I could click on that. It's opening. Let's do, for now, by the dialog box. I already written, but I could remove it. You could use the function here, like, let's say, again, sum. I could find that here. And sum which values. You could use both for above, below, left, and right. Just for now, I want to type above. Press OK. Now, if I press Alt or Option F9, you will see the values here. It is not calculated because you have to type equal sign to calculate it. Now, Alt or Option F9 again, and press F9 once to update. Don't worry, I will mention soon again. Now let's this time do manually. Here we have 3 keys. I want to write here to note that Control or Command plus F9. It's going to insert your data value. Alt or Option plus F9. It's going to edit mode or display them. And we have F9 for updating. Note that in some cases you might using your laptop and it is not working F9. you have to hold down the function, which it is written something like that, fn, to that. For example, if you're using laptop and control F9 didn't work, you have to hold down the control function and F9. So keep it in your mind. I click here. So first one, press Control or Command F9. There it is, data entry. And this time I wanna write manually. If you don't remember, Alt or Option F9 to see the formula, equal sum. Usually we're writing all cap, but doesn't matter. On the parentheses above. Now if I press Alt or Option and F9, we have the formula, but it is not calculating because you have to manually update them. So press F9 from your keyboard and there it is. I could copy this formula, Control or Command C, select rest of the cells and Control or Command V. As you see, it is not updated. So while they are selected, you could press F9 or simply choose any of those, right click and update field. I think this is the same value, but this one, right click and update. Or as you remember, you could use F9. You have to be inside and F9. There it is. Alt or Option F9 to see, F9 to update, and Control F9 to insert data. We have many functions to do many calculations. For instance, this time I want to sum the values of the left side. So let's do that manually. Control or Command F9 equal sum. And this time I'm using the left. Alt or Option F9 and press F9 once more. 6, 4 is 10 and 12. Let's calculate for average here. I could delete that. Let's go to the layout, formula, and of course, you could click here and type, for example, formula, or even quicker, something like average. It's directly going to the formula. And again, I wanna remove them. You could choose the function, average, and the left side, of course, left. And you could choose the number format. I could open the list and choose something like with, let's say, 2 decimal points. And okay, there it is. I want to update it to test it. 50 and 70. All right, click there, F9, and the average is 56.67. Still, you could right click on that and go to edit field, formula, and modify that, or again, right click, edit field, field code, and you could see here exactly what's going on. This code, if I press Alt or Option F9, you will see the exact similar calculation code, which usually we call it a script.